Hey guys, hold on a second. I forgot my support. Whoops, hold on just a minute. There, I gotta prop you up. Sorry. There we go. I thought I was ready. It's like I have everything else set, and it's like I forgot to prop up my computer. Oh, anyway, hi. How are you today? I'll try. Hang on to your dinner. Oh, goodness sakes. Well, hello, Dave and Gil. Look at the two of you here. Alicia, good evening. How are all of you? Aw, thank you, Dave. That was very sweet. You'll try to keep up. Oh, hey, Katie, how are you? Oh, well, Gil, thank you. Thank you so much. That, as you know, that helps a lot. And I hope all of your channels are going well. Writing free scenes, spirit writing. Okay, there you go. Patty, hello. How are you tonight? We have, well, last night we got, or I should say in the evening, we got a couple inches of snow. By midday today, it was pretty much all gone. But so we're kind of in that thing. The next 3 days, we're supposed to have rain, freezing rain, snow, and then next week, more snow, which is actually cooler than normal for April. So I don't know what's happening in your end of the country or the world. It would be, just got home from taking Jacob to the hospital. Oh no. Maybe it's just stress, Alicia. Hopefully. Hey, Bonnie, but Alicia, I'll be praying for you, most certainly. Okay, well, thank you, Bonnie, for listening. I sure do appreciate that. You had snow and ice pellets overnight today. Yeah. I think you're done with snow, but a rainy stretch ahead. Been a bit warmer than usual. Interesting. Yeah, they're of course I left my phone charging in the other room. Yeah, I was just seeing snowflakes like through the next 7 days or so, off and on. And so it doesn't look like we're going to be hitting anything warm really soon. But it's like getting into 30s and 40s during the day and then below freezing at night. So it's just doing that bouncing back and forth thing. Patty, you're having high winds, hail, and rainstorms. Oh my goodness. Wow. That's let's see. I typically get what comes from you, either straight going east, from the west to east, or it takes yours and curves it up into Canada and brings it right down on top of us. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there. Katie, I will certainly be praying for you too. So, Alicia, you planted tomato seeds. Good for you. And strawberry seeds a week ago. Okay. The strawberries may take a while, so be patient with those. Typically, we like to plant them as plants, but you can certainly start them from seeds. So just be patient with those. Put a clear egg over the plate to make a mini greenhouse. Look at you. You got a tomato sprout. Isn't that fun? When you put seed in the dirt and it just springs to life. I think it's just, there's something every year, no matter how long you've been gardening, there's just something so, it's really miraculous, really, but it's just something so rewarding too about putting it all in the soil. And then all of a sudden they sprout and they start springing up and turning into these plants that produce food. And it's just amazing. It really is. Oh, a clear bag. I was like, a clear nag. I was like, well, is that a Canadian expression? Hey, Glenn, how are you? Monk and Momo, hello. Oh, Parker, you changed your name. Okay, I'll have to remember that. But Hey, Connie, you did tomatoes and peppers too soon. Oh, they're going to be big then, aren't they? Well, the tomatoes, you can just plant them as deep as you possibly can. And the peppers, if they start blooming, you probably know this, but if they start blooming before you can plant them in the garden, just pick all the blossoms because you want to make sure that they will fill out, and even top them too. Clip off the very top of the main stem so that they will start to branch out and bush out, and you'll get a lot bigger ones. So, um, oh, Patty, I'm so sorry that you're not feeling well. Um, it was your birthday yesterday or the day before. I can't remember, but I thought I did send you a greeting, but I'm not sure. I thought I did. Um, anyway, happy birthday to you. Um, who else do we have here? Your indoor aroma is already 19 inches tall. Wow. Gil, when will you be able to plant those? Because it's April 4th today. So you have at least another month, I would think, right? Deb, hello. Yeah, you've been away. That's good to see you here. But you know what? Life gets in the way. I totally get it. Totally understand it. Yes, Patty, absolutely. The blossoms take energy from the pepper plants, from really any plant. So if there's a plant or even a tree, say you just planted an apple tree and it starts to blossom, you want to pick those off if you want the plant to really get growing and get really established, definitely pick those blossoms off. That's really big. Things have been a little crazy after Grandpa's stroke. Oh, I'm glad he's doing better. That's tough. When things like that happen, Parker, I'm so sorry. I will keep him and you in our prayers too. Are you like his main caregiver then? Is he at home? You watch Whispering Willow, Topper Tomatoes, and cringe, but they seem to be growing good. I know. It's like thinning out your carrots. People are like, no, I don't want to get rid of that. And you top off a tomato plant or you top off this. But like Patty said, it helps the energy that it's using up and taking from the soil and going through the plant because it only has a certain amount of time that it can be growing. And you want that energy to go into making the strongest, healthiest plant you can get, as well as sorry, there's a teenager that has a like a really stripped down dune buggy with no muffler, and I don't know if it's a girl or a boy, it's long hair, but and they're going up and down the street back and forth yesterday and then for a while today, and they're back at it. And so I'm just like, oh, it's so loud. So anyway, sorry about that. But what I was saying is, yeah, that you want the energy going into the plant and then into the fruit that it's growing, and then you'll have the best harvest that you can get. Sorry, I'm missing you guys here. Monk and Momo, he's walking and okay, well, good. That they can be up and around is a huge help. It really is. You do to plant tomatoes and eggplants this coming weekend. Ooh, Dave, already? Oh my goodness. Oh, you're doing Gil, that's excellent. Very, very good. You got raspberries? Nice. Very, very good. Hope I said hi to everyone. Yeah. Well, Alicia, if you have to go, that's totally fine. I understand. His kids come over and been helping. That was very stressful having people. Oh, yes, I totally understand, Parker. Yeah. It's been almost 2 years now that we've been caretaking for my dad. So I totally get it. I understand. Being able to be patient for better plant size and fruiting is well worth having. Absolutely, Patty. So, hey, Karen's Garden. Hello. Thanks for coming in. Nate Mitch. Hello. Miss T. There you are. Sunny Nebraska. That is so good. Oh, thank you. That's very sweet of you to be. Well, I just don't want you in trouble at work, but I really appreciate your dedication there. Thank you. Um, you said plant, you meant sow. Oh, okay. So you're sowing your, all right. I will be too. I have been debating again back and forth about whether or not to grow tomatoes this year because I still have so much tomato product that I have to get through, but they are 2 to 3 years old, and so I think I will still grow some and just get some fresh things on the shelf, and then just give away a lot of what I have, the tomato sauce and everything to family members, and just get the jars back. Just share the love, and then just get some fresh things on the shelf. So I want to make sure you can get that done. Hey, Matt and Sarah. No problem. Hey, Sarah. Well, thank you. Hi, kids. Evan, Leroy, and Lydia and Eli. Hello. How are you doing? I hope you're having a good dinner, and hope you had a good Monday too. You're going to be getting elderberry cuttings. Oh, nice. Oh, that is so great. It's one thing I have not really looked into, seeing about growing here, because I know they take a while to establish. And I mean, I've got a lot of dried elderberries, several pounds of them, and which is a lot. So I'm set for quite a few years with that. And I'm just thinking that by the time I would end up having to move from here, just because of it might be way too much for me to care for anymore. I don't know that the elderberries will be growing enough in order to actually, you know, take advantage of them in that way. What else do we have here? Ricky, hello. How are you? You eat a lot of tomato things, yeah. I just don't go through enough tomato supplies because they do aggravate my arthritis a little bit. So, and inflammation. So I don't eat a whole lot of it, but I do want some fresh stuff up there. Glenna, you're harvesting a lot of mulberries. It's ramping up to about a quart a day. Nice. What do you make with your mulberries? That I would like to know. Everybody's just saying hi. Hello, hello, hello. So, yes, we are staying cooler here. My onions are growing still. Last week we did a haircut, and look at how high they are again. So some more haircut going on. Doo-doo. There's some that were just, little and sprouting before, but anyway, they're doing really well. Oh, I wanted to show you too. Other one is better. For those of you who, I don't know if you can see the roots going down. So you see how much is above, but you can see the roots going down there too, which is just fine. I mean, look at the roots starting to hit the bottom here. But that's totally fine. The roots are, so the point is to get the bulbs going. Now, since I did a haircut on some of these, they're already growing like a second leaf. So some of them are already getting multiples on here, which is very cool. And which means that the bulb is starting to grow, and I'm starting to get extra layers on there. So, so I'm pretty excited about that. Pretty excited about that. Eat tomatoes and what? Mulberries. Yeah, time for another onion trim. Absolutely. And I saw Simple Living Alaska, Aaron and no, is it Ariel? Sorry, Ariel and Eric. I end up blending the names. So Ariel was showing on her video yesterday that she was giving her onions a haircut too. So I'm like, yay, I'm not alone. Just, hey, Michigan Daffodil, hello. This year you're making jam. Other years you just ate fresh or frozen for pies. Mulberry pie. I have never had that. I've never had mulberries. What do they taste like? Um, what would they be comparable to? Just wondering. You've got walking onions. Don't think you'll ever need onions again. Oh, that's funny. Um, you got your package of seeds today from the Celtic Roots Seed Swap. Nice. Always fun to get seeds, most definitely. And I want to tell you, I set up my timer that I showed you last week. For those who don't know, and it's all hooked up, so I can't really show you. But I got a power strip that has a digital timer on it, and so I can program in when I want the timer to go on and off during the day. And so I have it set for going on at 8 a.m. and going off at 10 p.m. So I'm giving it 14 hours of daylight. So, sunlight basically from my grow lights. And so hooked it up to my grow lights and it is working fantastic. It is so nice. As the summer, as the light progresses over the next month, I may switch it to like 7 to 9 or 9:30 or something like that. Just to get, because the sun will be beating in this room. And so I don't want plants to start freaking out, that kind of thing. But anyway, it's working great. And I love it. I love it. I love it. It's like, I wish I'd been able to find it years ago, but it's, it just gives me peace of mind. I can dive right into work or go somewhere and be gone overnight or something and not have to worry about, oh no, I don't have the grow lights on, that type of thing. So it's so wonderful. To Boy Scout camp in their town. Sweet. Oh, fun. Ripe mulberries are very sweet. Okay. Depending on type, they are similar to raspberries or blackberries in flavor, but a tree covered in them every spring. Ah, nice. So are they, I don't know why I picture them round like a grape or a blueberry or something like that. They're smooth, or are they bumpy like a raspberry? Um, that that would be so cool. I don't know if we grow mulberries up here. Ricky or Sarah or anybody up here in the north, do you know if we do? I have not even seen them in the store, actually. So, um, oh, hey, Kiri, how are you doing? Thank you. I appreciate that. Those animals, they just don't know what time schedules are, right? They just know when they have to eat, right? You love the timer on your grow lights turned. That's so great. Yeah, you don't have to worry about it. You're going, oh man, they've been on too long or anything. So that's so great. Your husband and you are going to Shipshewana, Indiana tomorrow. You're going to look for a manual coffee grinder. Nice. Ooh, that should be fun. I hope you find one. Okay, they do in Wisconsin. All right, Karen. Very cool. You've got a mulberry you keep trimmed back in a 25-gallon container. Wow. Do you keep that inside then, Nate? Or do you like breed in and then take it out, or does it go dormant over the winter? That'd be kind of great. They look like blackberries, and yes, you can grow them. Oh, how fun. Hey, Matt and Sarah, did you hear that? You can grow mulberries up here. Add that to your garden too. That would be very fun. Mulberry trees. Your mother has 3. The birds planted all of them. Okay, that is very fun. Kira, you got 5 baby chicks a couple days old. Well, I can't hear them, so you're just fine. Oh, you have them in Nebraska farms. You've not seen them in stores. Okay. Grandma used to make mulberry jam and syrup for pancakes. Now that you're all talking timers, you should be lighting up you should up your lighting from 12 to 14 hours. Okay. Yeah, because I figure, I mean, they say, especially onions that are long day, they need, what is it, from 10 to 14 hours. So I figure, oh, I'll give them 14 hours. There's nothing wrong with that because once they go out in the garden, they're going to get 14 to 15 hours of sunlight anyway. So let them get used to it. Mulberry syrup is amazing. Ooh, okay. You tried to convince Matt of a fig tree today, even though it said zone 5. Zone 5 might be pushing it a little bit. I hear you. Oh, unless you protect it super well through the winter, but oh, that's funny. I don't know if very many of you follow Josh at Inya Yard Homestead in Australia. Remember he had I talked to him about him a couple months ago that he had to leave his rental home and he's been now camping out in the bush. And that's his living is he's totally off grid in a campsite in the bush in Australia. And so anyway, he did a video a couple days ago that there was some massive flooding that went through his campsite and he's fine, everything's good. He was collecting a lot of rainwater, but he's got quite a setup going there. But if you could keep him in your prayers for him to be able to have access to get out because the flooding has prevented him from even leaving the area. So if he's running out of food or needs medical help or something, he can't get out. So, all right, you're struggling with figs. There are a lot of different types of mulberries, and you can easily become addicted to growing them and try to collect them all. Oh, well, I like that kind of warning. That's good. Need to baby a fig, wrap it in winter, insulate. There you go. Here, you planted zucchini seeds yesterday, cucumber seeds on Saturday, nothing sprouted. Okay. You're patient. Oh, 2 days, they're not gonna do a whole lot. Give him at least 4 or 5 days, right? There you are. Um, thank you guys, appreciate that. Yeah, Josh could definitely use your prayers. We're gonna buy another cheap greenhouse. Oh, very good. You guys are just using every inch of your lot. I'm just so proud of you. That's really cool. Your kohlrabi sprouted in 2 days? Wow. Um, yeah, I don't know how much rain he got. He didn't really say, but I mean, the river close to him just totally flooded the way. So you'll have to go check his video out. I don't know if it was the same one you saw, but anyway, my topic today is talking about garden supplies. And so I know a lot of you who have been gardening for a while, you're all set, but sometimes you know, you can look through Amazon or see what other people have on their channels and they got this gadget and that gadget. And it's like, okay, what do I really, really need for gardening? And it really comes down to some very basic things. Yes, soil and compost are your number one thing just to make sure you get. I mean, you can dig your hands in it if you don't have a hoe or anything, but make sure you have good soil and compost. um yes, Michigan, well, yeah, I don't think he lost anything in his under his tent or anything, Michigan Daffodil, but I think he's flooded all the way around him. So, Alicia, I don't know. Um, so good soil, absolutely a good soil. Um, I tried to grab a few of my things, but some of them are out in the shed. They're locked up and I didn't have time to go out and get them. But a good hoe, a garden hoe, not the HO, the HOE. The garden hoe is to help you till and prepare the soil for planting. You don't need to have a huge tiller. If you're turning soil for the very first time, I recommend a tiller, but rent one. Don't go out and buy, an $800 tiller for yourself just because, oh, I need to till the garden. Just go and rent one for $10 for the day or something like that. Or see if there's a neighbor who will come over and till your garden if they don't want to lend one to you or something. Barter your time, barter something, a few dozen eggs for the service or whatever you can do. But once it's been tilled, usually a hoe is going to be all you need to kind of keep the soil worked through the season. So you're currently chitting about 60 evergreen bunching onion seeds, and about 50 little finger carrot seeds. Very cool. Um, wow, Kiri, that's a lot of. You've been working it. I tell you what. Oh, that's great. I'm glad he can upload. I mean, it seemed to be because he was doing his video from his campsite and he wasn't able to go anywhere, and so he was filming it. So I didn't know if it was from many days before that, and then he finally got out to just show us the video, or if he was able to send it at the same time. But so soil and compost, a garden hoe, a garden rake is very, very helpful too. I recommend like the one that's straight across with the metal tines, and not like a leaf rake. Those are too flimsy. You want a good stiff garden rake to be able to rake through and even out your soil, your beds, whatever you have, that all that kind of thing. So soil, hoe, rake. And some of these things you can find at garage sales. You don't have to go out and buy the newest thing. You don't have to go out and spend $25 a piece on these things. Go to garage sales. If you're looking through the paper, look specifically to see if they have garden supplies. And you can find things for 50 cents or a dollar or whatever. And you go home and you just oil things up, clean things up, sharpen them if you need to. But you can find really good things, to be able to do. So, Bark Boys says you're one of the best compost. Oh, Connie, I don't doubt that because you've got beds all over. That's so great. I'm so glad. Um, Now, are they close by or do you order it online and it's delivered? That I would like to know because I still have to drive half hour to get any bag of compost for me, and sometimes they're out. And actually, they haven't put stuff out yet. Um, they're still like in wrapped pallets that are covered with snow. In that way out in their warehouse or something like that. So I have not been able to. I looked on, when was it, Thursday. I was up looking for compost and some soil. A tip on using a rake: if you use one without a bow but a flat bar. Yep, exactly, exactly. Thank you, Patty. That's what I do too. So, I mean, I've got, this is not a rake, but it's about the same size. The rake might be a little bit wider or something, but yes, you've got the flat bar on the top and the tines that stick out that way. And all you do is turn it over so you've got the flat part and you just run it across the soil top, flattens it out very nicely. So, but thank you. This is what I want you guys to do for all of you seasoned gardeners. Throw in all of your little tips, the things that you have, what you've done. That's so great. Now, the next thing you need is a shovel. And I do have one here. So this was my grandfather's shovel. And he died in 1974, I think. So it's been a long time. Almost 50 years ago he died. Isn't that right? Wow. Yeah. And so every year I oil up the handle, and I gotta make sure because you guys can see this. I oil up the handle, make sure it's done. I did not tend to this very well this year, so there's a little bit of rust on it, but I need to sharpen it and clean it up, scour it really good, oil it down so it won't rust. And just oil it down with like a 3-in-1 oil, and that works out really well. But keep if you have a wooden handle, keep them oiled well so that they don't split and crack, and then don't let them sit outside in the weather. So whether it's hot sun or rain or whatever, when you're done using it, bring it inside or stick it under an overhang or something. Put it in the shed, garage, whatever it is. But don't leave your tools outside. That's hard on them. They rust. So a good shovel. Oh, and I did put a couple links down below. And the one thing that they highly recommend for the shape of the shovel is to have one that is, well, first of all, that it's kind of bent in that shape, and then it's got the pointy, the pointy top like that. So, because that ends up digging into the soil better. Because there are some shovels that are like gravel shovels that are the narrow, flat, square ends and things like that. Those are harder to get into your soil and turn it than this one. So you bent that flat bar in your rake. Oh, yes, pulling, absolutely. Oh, they're really close to you. Oh, okay. So there you go. You have a heart hoe that is older than you are. Those are your fathers that need some love this year. Oh, that is so cool. Great tip. Great tip, Patty. Yes. Oiled wood. Yeah, don't paint them. If you're using one with a metal handle, or something, wear gloves because you will get blisters. I even wear gloves with this, but just because, after 4 or 5 hours of digging and in the garden, you will get blisters no matter what you're using. But yes, paint will blister you a lot faster. Oh, Dave, we need to get you in shape there, don't we? Oh, you do oil the handles, but you leave them out all the time. Okay. Because you don't want to be hauling them back and forth, right? I don't know. It's just probably because of our weather and the extreme temperatures we have and everything. I just started doing that from the beginning, taking care of, bring them in, bring them out and everything. So it's something I'm used to doing. So long pry bars come in handy when trying to dig up rocks. There you go. Yeah. And what kind of thing what tools are important for you are going to vary according to your climate, your soil, your, the things that, in fact, I think this was my garden tip today. Oh, no, it was something else. Excuse me. But yes, if you have lots of rocks, your tools are going to definitely be a little bit different than somebody who's, got sandy soil or very loamy soil or extremely wet soil, something like that. It's going to change up. So if it's sharp, it needs to stay sharp. There you go. There you go. And I do sharpen my shovel. I have, again, from my grandfather, it's an old bench grinder, and so, I haven't done it for a couple years, so that's gonna be a project for this spring that I need to do. I get it outside and, grind up the edges of my shovels and, tips of my hose and everything because it makes such a difference to have a sharp shovel. It really does. Um Garden tools stay outside year round. Yeah. A spade and rather than a square nose. There you go. Thank you, Gil. That's it. The technical terms there. Very good. You had fiberglass handles that were left in the sun. Horrible to work with. Oh, that would kind of split everything up. Oh, okay. Don't leave them in the sun. You have 3 types of shovels. I do have one of the smaller, square ones that Gil said, yes, kind of a square nose, and I use that for gravel and sand, and that works out really good because this shovel has a bigger space to it, and the gravel and everything will just fall right off the ends, because you have the tip, and so it's a heavier, amount of scoop. It's a longer handle. It's just not ergonomically or whatever, um, as easy as doing a spade that's a little shorter, and it has the loop handle at the end of it, and so I can actually hold it like that and then hold the other hand down here and get a good scoop of gravel, and it's a whole lot easier. So, yeah, you have different shovels for different things. Absolutely. You have a rock bar too. Well, you have a lot of rocks up there, Dave. Absolutely. Leather gloves. Very good. Um, yeah, I totally forgot my gloves. Those are my favorite though too, is a glove. They're summer gloves. So the back is almost kind of it's a really a breathable material, almost a mesh, but very durable. And then it's leather palms and fingers. Um, at least this part of the fingers, the back is breathable, but the palms are leather or a very, very durable faux leather. And tell you what, I beat through my gloves very quickly. I use them all the time outside. So Dave, you have several axes, hatchets, and saws. Well, you have a lot of wood that you need to deal with out there too. So, um, those are excellent. Yeah, those are things that you need to be doing. Shovel with your legs, not your back. Good tip. Very, very good tip. Um, you're loving the kids' shovel you're using to get out the dirt. There you go. Okay. So, the next things you like show and tell. I don't often have show and tell, but once in a while, right? So when I'm working on things. Okay, the next item, other than a shovel. So a shovel is when you're really trying to do a lot of, a big area of different things. But now when you are getting down to trying to dig a hole to plant your tomatoes, plant some, whatever it is that you're growing, whether it's a plant of herb or a vegetable or flower or something like that. You want to have a trowel, and this is what a trowel looks like. And yes, I bad gardener. I did not clean these up after I finished last year, but this one's pretty clean. So trowel is about this shape. I love this handle. I've gone through quite a few different trowels, but this has been, I don't know what the brand is. The colors make it look like a Black & Decker, but I'm not sure. So it's a set of 3. The thing that you want to look for in a trowel is, first of all, how sturdy it is. And you want the metal to go all the way through the handle. You don't want it to attach here to like a wooden handle or something, because it will bend right there or even break. And is that what that is, Fiskars? Okay, orange and black. Okay. So there was no name on here unless I wore it off. I possibly wore it off, but Thank you, Dave. Appreciate that. But this is very, very sturdy. I've believe me, I bought the cheap ones and they just bend. And I use these a lot. The handles, the handle is really nice again for holding on to. Makes it really easy. It's got like little depressions here for your thumb, this for that. And you can have, they did come with strings on them like this, so you can hang them, but they just got in my way. So I think I just took that one off. But again, this is another one that I'm going to sharpen this year to make sure that because it's gotten kind of dull. So I'm going to sharpen this one up too, make sure that it's all ready. So a trowel. Yes, it has a nice grip on it. All right. Excuse me. One of my very most favorite, highly used tool that I just use because I have raised beds and it's a smaller space and I'm bending over. If I'm using a big long hoe, it just doesn't work well. And so my little hand hoe here is excellent. Again, it's of the same set. You can see this has a thing. So you could even, put it through here, then just go like this. So if you're afraid of dropping it, which, if I'm dropping it anyway, I probably, will use it and then just set it aside. But this works the ground around the plants so well. When I'm wanting to loosen the soil around my tomato plants or pepper plants, whatever they are. So I'm going around and just loosening the soil. If especially if it had like a lot of really hard rain, it just like compresses the soil and packs it right in. So I go around and kind of loosen it up a little bit. But anyway, I love this one. So it's a three tong hand hoe, and again, the metal goes all the way through the handle, and it's very sturdy, very, very well made. And I love this one. I just love it. So I keep these in a little bucket all the time, and I just bring that outside, use them, throw my stuff back in the bucket, and bring it inside. So I don't have things all over the place that I'm looking for. What do we have here? Of course, you love show and tell. Thank you. The best trowels you found are Korean trowels. Ooh, they're a different shape and have a cutting edge for weeding. Okay. Well, that brings me to another one. And for those of you who don't have any of these things, maybe just start making some notes of what I'm showing you or what we're talking about, and then get one thing at a time and see what fits in your budget. But I think what you might be talking about is the Horihori. Is that what you're talking about, Nate? So this Horihori, again, I'm sorry, I'm a bad gardener and they're dirty. This edge is, it can be, it's not really sharp, but believe me, this one is. I cut myself on the back of my hand last summer, and I don't think there's still blood on there, but really show and tell here. But this is really great. What I love about these two is that they've got measurement markers. So, ooh, I just spilled dirt all over my computer. They have measurement things. So if you need to figure out, it's like, okay, they're saying plant, your plant your onions 2 inches deep or something. It's like, okay, it's got a 2-inch mark, and you can just dig down. You can kind of figure out how far it is. But this is a Horihori, Horihori. So this is one that I won from another channel. It's from Bare Bones. And again, any good Horihori has the metal all the way through the handle, and it's very, very strong. It's a really good grip. Do be careful with these though. Don't let your kids use them unless they're old enough and responsible. But do be careful with them. But they will go down and they will cut through the weeds. They're great. It's I'm still getting used to using it, but it's a fantastic little tool. You do have one of those. Okay, so you just call it a knife, a triangle. Okay, I've never seen one of those. Interesting. Um, Korean trowel. I'll have to check into that. You can saw wood with those teeth. Probably, probably so. Um, you know, I could see taking down, this would cut through my the tomato stems in the fall when I'm taking them down. That would certainly cut through everything. Most definitely. um, the third part of this set is I don't even know what it's called. It's just a really different little thing. It's got like a tooth on here and it's bent. And this I use it. You can see I've used it. There's dirt on it, but again, it's the Fiskars set. But I will use this when there's I need to get down close to like the carrots when the carrots are really deep, when they're 10 or 12 inches deep, and I need to loosen the soil around them um, to be able to pull them out. I can go down with this, and so I'm not worried about damaging them or anything like this because these will go down and kind of work around that without creating a big problem. I mean, I could use the trowel too, but because of how it's bent, I can go down and I can damage it kind of goes at an angle. I could damage the carrot. The Horihori could go down near the carrots pretty well, but there again, they're very sharp on either side, so I could end up damaging them too. So anyway, I do use it, but that's not a have to. I would say the have tos are a hand trowel and even the hand hoe. I would go as little have tos on those. Never saw one of those. You have a Cobra weeder for weeding. Oh, it's a dandelion weeder. Oh, okay. Now I know what it's for because it's got that little tooth thing at the end, and so I could see it going down and getting. Well, now I know how to harvest dandelions. Thank you. Korean hand plow. You've never seen this funky thing. A snake tongue. Oh, there you go. Ooh, that's good. Yes, and we talked about garden gloves. A good water source. Okay, you need to have either if you only have 2 or 3 pots in there, like on your apartment deck, just, a measuring cup or something with water in it is all that you're gonna need to put, or, a water pitcher or something. Just you can go to the dollar store and get a $1 plastic container and just pour things, pour your water in there. But if you're having, more space than that you need to do, and yet still not a lot, you could get by with a watering can. You can get a plastic one that's got a handle and a spout on it that's got like a round end that has holes in it, so it kind of comes out as a sprinkler type of thing. That's really handy to have. I will use those. I will use that for when I am just putting some fresh plant starts in the ground, and I'm actually planting at that point in time. It's like I'll fill that up with water from the outside, either from the faucet. You don't want to use softened water from the inside, but I'll use water from the outside, and then I will or if I've been able to harvest rainwater, which I'm going to have to start doing really soon. as soon as we can stay above freezing at night. But so I will fill that and have that handy to be able to um, pour into the hole that I'm making when I'm planting tomatoes or peppers or anything like that. Um, hey, Minnesota Mama Bear. Yes, it is still time to say hello. Hello to you. The Oh, cool. That is so great. Thanks, Patty. A watering nozzle you can attach to a large soda bottle. There you go. So you have 2 liters of water right there, and just see, there are really inexpensive ways you can do it and without having to have this grand watering system. Just look at it according to what your needs are. If you have more garden space, definitely have a hose. And then I would get a, attachment that allows you to have, um, like a long handle attachment that can do like a sprinkler thing at the end of it. Like it'll rain over that. So you don't want to just have straight hose and at full speed pouring out on your little plants or your seeds that you just put in there. So you want to make sure, thank you, Michigan Daffodil, appreciate that. So you want to make sure that you're being gentle to your plants. And the the long handle also allows you to get in underneath plants, so you're not just watering them from the top, because you don't want to be doing that. You want to water the soil. You don't want to water the plant itself. And a hose, make sure that your hose is of good quality. Don't skimp on that. There are some hoses that I know have not worked for people, like getting all of those flexi type of hoses and everything that they're sometimes kind of gimmicky. You think that, oh, they're going to work well, but they're just kind of a gimmick. Don't spend $100 on a hose, on a 50-foot hose, but don't spend $5 on one either. If you need to spend $25 on a hose, it's going to be worth it in the long run. So, oh, thank you. Oh, thanks, Gil, for coming. Appreciate it. A watering wand. There you go. It's just like brain fart, so it's like, yes, I love the softer watering too. Absolutely. Before we have to all go, I want to thank you for all my mods being here. I really appreciate it. I would say the only other thing that would be very helpful is some pruning shears. Now I've got these that I showed you last week. They're Black & Decker. They're more of a scissors, but I can use these to get like little, like suckers off my tomato plants, different things like that, and clip them off in that way and trim my onions. But a pruning shears is a little different, and I thought I had them in my bucket, but I don't see them. So, but yes, a pruning shears that is easy on your hands and can take, a good sized branch of some sort, like a hefty branch off your tomato plants or something like that. Garden hat, well, that's a good one too. Yes, protect your skin from the sun. Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, we're almost out of time. I do have a meeting in 6 minutes that I'll have to get to, but Deb, thank you so much. Oh, thanks for being here. My garden tip for tonight is, oh, suspense, is to consider growing plants as bug repellents. The top 7 are citronella, lavender, marigolds, nasturtiums, rosemary, basil, and mint. And they all repel different sorts of bugs and everything, but check into them. Yes, marigolds. When I was younger, I was really attentive to surrounding my garden with marigolds, and I just have not had that kind of energy in the last few years, but it's really good. The metal is better, and you'll buy them once. Felco. Thank you, Patty. Appreciate that. Because I have a pair, but I'm not really happy with them. So Um, yes, good tip, Miss T. Absolutely. And my prep tip for tonight is to it's kind of a repeat one, but something that we need to think about every year anyway, is to go through your pantry, your fridge, your freezer, and all your storage. Make lists of your food that you have, and then make a list of what you need and supplies that you need. Um, Make sure that you just add them to your shopping list as you can afford them. And just don't hesitate. I want to give you an example is that um, I need distilled water that I have to keep on hand here. And I usually keep 3 or 4 gallons on hand, so to just make sure that I have it. Well, for over a month, I've not been able to find any. The supply, they say that the supply chain has issues and everything for water, for distilled water. And, luckily I had several gallons, but I'm down to 1 and it's like and so I need to find it. I do have, um, yeah, you're terrible planner. It's like, so I do have an alternative that I may end up going with, but anyway, so that's just an example. You never think that distilled water. It's like, well, that should be like a staple in any store, and they've been out. So just don't hesitate to start getting things because if you think, oh well, that's on my list, well, I'll get it another time. Just get the most important things first and really check on. So hardware stores. Okay, I will look at that then. Thanks, Patty. Um, that's okay, Teresa. Thank you. Appreciate that. It is, Deb. It is a huge chore, but take a little bit at a time. Just say, okay, I'm going to look through all of my canned vegetables and just check on that. Then another time will be, okay, I'll look through my freeze dried foods and just take an assessment of that and figure out what you need. And then, don't try to do it all at one time, but take sections of it and then figure out what you need. It's like, okay, what kind of meat do I have? Do I have enough that's canned? How much is in the freezer? Are we going to be ordering a quarter of beef or something? It's like, or there around Easter, a lot of things go on sale. Ham goes on sale. A lot of other things go on sale. So, good things to check. So, anyway, you guys, thank you so much. Thank you. Oh, thank you all for being here. I just love you all, and you guys have been such a great support. And I really appreciate all that you've done for me and for my channel and help me to get where I'm at today. And I am really working towards getting back to regular videos, and but there's just been a lot of interfering in life right now. So I'll work hard at that and try to get that to it. So well, thank you, Teresa. I really appreciate that. Oh my goodness, Germany groceries going up 50%. Get it this week at Aldi. Okay. Great to know. Thank you. All right, you guys, good night. Take care. God bless. Always have hope. And we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.